In our last video, we demonstrated how to create a grid layout for web design using CSS elements and classes selectors. Our HTML page features a grid-based layout defined in the container class. The initial setup creates a 3-column grid with a repeating pattern, perfect for desktop displays. We also set up the rows to adjust automatically, ensuring that each item fits nicely within the available space. The gap property sets a small space between grid items, and the container has some paddings and subtle box shadow for better aesthetics. Each grid item, styled with a background color of coral and blue text, is centered both horizontally and vertically, creating a clean and uniform look. Notice that certain rows, specifically row 1, is set to span all columns with grid column property set to 1 all over -1, making it a full width element in the layout. Now, let's look at how we handle different screen sizes with media queries. For screens up to 768 pixels wide, typically mobile devices, the layout switches to a single column format. This is achieved by setting grid template columns 1FR, which stacks all the content vertically. The rows adjust the heights automatically, with grid template rows set to auto, and we increase the gap between items to 10 pixels for better touch interactions on small screens. The elements that previously spanned multiple columns, like row 1, revert to their default column span with grid column auto property set. For medium-sized screens, ranging from 769 pixels to 1024 pixels, these are often tablets or small desktop computers, we maintain 3 columns grid, but modify the layouts slightly. Here, grid template columns repeat 3 1FR keeps the 3 column structure, while grid template rows auto and 10 pixels gap ensure a balanced appearance. Importantly, row 1 continues to span all columns with grid column property set to 1 over 1 minus 1, preserving its prominence in the layout. These media queries ensure that our design remains functional and visually appealing across various devices, enhancing the user experience by dynamically adjusting the layout based on the screen size. This approach shows the power of responsive web design, ensuring your content is always accessible and well rendered, no matter how it's viewed.